What's going on, everyone? So I took everybody's feedback on my first video. I had some comments about my shaky cam on my quick video I made about the NECA Toys new Jason figure from the New Blood. And so upping the camera quality and also, going with the tripod and not trying to go off my shaky ass hands holding the camera and trying to jumble doing other things. I'm also trying to figure out, what to mainly make this channel about. But I'm a huge toy collector. I love horror and video game stuff and a bunch of other things. But I go out on toy hunts. So I figured I'd start doing some toy hunts in the wild as well and showing off what I find and helping other collectors out if need be. But for this video in particular, I thought it'd be fun to do another, as you can see, another Friday the 13th related video. And in this one, I want to go over my ranking of the appearances of Jason in the film series. This will be my list. I've got 11 in the list, and unfortunately, I'm going to leave out Jason Goes to Hell because I do not have that figure. I would love to have it one day. Again, I still remember having it or picking it up at Hot Topic when it came out years ago, but it's just something that I just cannot remember what the hell happened to it. But so he will not be on the list. But this will include every other appearance, and you may agree with my list, or you may not and have your own opinions on where you think some of these appearances of Jason fall on the list. But these just are my favorites throughout the films and what I've liked as I was a little kid growing up, liking Jason and Friday the 13th, and to now being 35 years old. So, but yeah. So let's get this show on the road, and we're going to start it off with number 11, and this one is actually going to be Roy Burns. I don't know how people feel about that, and it's not going to be at the bottom because it isn't Jason. I still like that movie. It's honestly one that I skip over when I do my Friday the 13th watches, along with Friday the 13th 1. But I just, I like the Roy Jason, but it's just not my favorite appearance. I don't know if it's because, the jumpsuit, and it's just a kind of a scrawny little dude in the movie. I mean, the figure is freaking awesome. You can't doubt that. But as far as Jason goes, he's going to start off my list at the bottom. So number 11 is going to be Roy. Set him over here. Try and get them all in shot. Sorry, buddy. So on to number 10. And it's going to be Friday the 13th, Part 2, Jason. Good old potato sack head. I do love this appearance of Jason. Just how they were still trying to figure out what they were going to do with him. But overall, I don't know. He just doesn't have that intimidating look to me that, you would expect for a horror serial killer character, when they're just like, yeah, it's like they're trying to figure out what to do, and it kind of makes sense. He's hiding in the woods and stuff, on his own as like a hermit guy and everything, but it just, to me, it just is kind of a lame design for Jason. Alright, number 9, we're going to have Jason X, pre-Uber Jason, and this is my custom figure I did of him. I do honestly like the movie. But as far as Jason designs go, I always felt it was kind of lazy, especially like behind the mask, because when you, like when they, at the very beginning of the movie, when he's like chained up and they kind of zoom in on his face, if you know what Kane Hodder looks like without his mask on, you can just tell like it's just Kane Hodder behind the mask. It just is, no matter what, it just looks like a regular dude with a hockey mask on. They didn't really try and deform him too much, which always kind of bothered me. So I like the design of him, but it's honestly just not my favorite. So that's my custom figure that I did of him. Moving on to number 8, we're going to have Freddy versus Jason. Jason, man, try and get him in there. Now I do like this Jason design. I added the chain around his neck just to see what the look would be like, and I honestly think it's pretty cool. But you know, I like this design for Jason. The zombie Jason has always been my favorite. But you know, the thing that always bothered me about that character in that movie is he was just, I remember they were saying they were trying to make him like Frankenstein's monster almost, where he just kind of lumbers around all slow as hell and everything, and which he always kind of has, but it just, I don't know. And it always bothered me that it wasn't Kane Hodder behind the mask for that movie, which it should have been. But he's a shorter guy, so I'm pretty sure that's why they said that they replaced him playing Jason, because they wanted someone to stand against Robert Englund that was a little bit taller. Still like the design, but he's just going to fall in the number 8 spot on my list. Set you right there, buddy. Or back there. I may have to start taking these guys out. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we're going to have Jason Takes Manhattan. This is another custom I did. Was the old McFarlane, and I added a bunch of parts from the Part 4 Jason. I do like this Jason design. It's honestly the first Friday the 13th I ever saw growing up as a kid. So this design really holds a special place in my heart as far as Friday the 13th Jason designs goes. But again, you know, he's just kind of when you come off of other better entries in the series, this one just felt kind of, you know, lazily put together, just especially when you're like expecting a really good, you know, Jason face reveal for the end of the movie, and it is probably the worst freaking face reveal ever in all of the movies. Always just really drove me crazy. He looked like a freaking Sesame Street character. But yeah, I do like this design though. Alright, so this next one is a movie technically, but it was a crowdfunded fan film, and this is the Never Hike Alone version of Jason, the Ghost Jason, and I did this custom. I got the design from another guy, and or the recipe from another guy, and it just worked out really perfect to make this version of him, because the actor was kind of a slimmer build, so it just really kind of helped out. But if you've never seen that fan film, definitely recommend it. It's you can watch it on YouTube. It's really awesome video, and I really like how Jason is. He's very freaking intimidating, almost like the 2009 remake movie. I like just how he just like almost chases the character and stuff. Really like that movie. And I like this design. So yeah, number 6 spot belongs to Never Hikes Alone Jason. Sorry, Never Hike Alone Jason. Number 5 spot goes to the final chapter, Jason. Oh shit. Fuck. Well, the one is machete. I'll forget that. Alright. So, I always really liked this Jason design. Mainly because it was Tom Savini's design of Jason. Always really liked the face underneath the mask. Really liked the portrayal of him in the film. You always just got the sense of dread, especially when you get to the final girl, when he's chasing her around and you just see her face and you just really think that she was probably really scared to death getting chased by this guy through the house back and forth. He just was pretty terrifying, and I really liked the Part 4 Jason. And personally, it's one of my favorite films in the series. And it's honestly the first one you could really watch, and if you've never seen Friday the 13th, and it's really the movie that could make you fall in love with that series. And it's really like, by that time, they really were getting the feel of where they were going with the Jason character. Even if it was, supposed to be the final chapter, they definitely nailed him as being the best interpretation of Jason. But again, not my favorite appearance or look of Jason. So the number 4 spot is going to go to Jason Lives. I love this design, and it's a lot of people's personal favorite movie. It's not my personal favorite movie. I personally like the final chapter and the New Blood, but I really like this first attempt at a zombie Jason. The only thing that really bothered me is just, his clothes just were too perfect for, just being in the ground like that. They could have tore him up a little bit more, besides just a little tearing at his ankles. But I really like the face design underneath the mask. And honestly, with Never Hike Alone fan film, I always felt that face underneath the mask, the mouth at least, looked like the Jason from Jason Lives. So the number 4 spot again goes to this badass interpretation of Jason Voorhees. Now we're getting to the top 3. And, these are my personal top 3 favorite appearances of Jason. And so we're going to start off with entry number 3. And it's going to be the 2009 version of Jason Voorhees. Love or hate the movie, I personally love it. I rewatched it last night after having a Friday the 13th marathon all weekend, and every time I get to this one, I just really love Jason in it. He reminds me of Part 4 Jason, with how he pretty much just chases after his victims, but he's just way more aggressive in it, and he's just tall and freaking terrifying. Especially when he shows up with the sack on his head. But yeah, I really love this version of Jason. I like the overcoat and just everything about this design. I wish they would have done a continuation of this series. Just sucks that it didn't do well, and a lot of people hate it, but I do like this movie a lot. And that's number 3. So now we're getting to the final 2, and you're probably starting to figure out which ones it's going to be. And so this one was a tricky spot just because they're 2 of the ultimate fan favorites. But after a lot of thinking for this list, I decided that the number 2 spot goes to Part 3 Jason Voorhees. I love this version. I do a lot. Just because, it's the one where he first gets the mask. I always liked the actor, stuntman who played Jason. I like how his whole demeanor, how he hunched and everything, it just really just really brought a lot of character to him, and he was very intimidating in the movie as well. Never really liked the face design underneath the mask, but other than that, I just like the whole design of that Jason. I always liked that he just stole some clothes from some dude, so like the shirt was too small and everything. So I just I love this version, and this is the latest re-release of this Jason. Come on, buddy. Ah. So it's got more detail on the mask. I also use a semi-gloss on my masks to give them that gloss tone, but also the skin tones on him. It's actually the color of the plastic now. He's not painted anymore. So if you ever see a re-release of this figure, I definitely recommend getting it. Plus the clothes aren't glossy anymore. They got a matte finish. But if you're ever looking for a really good matte coat spray over paint for your action figures to get rid of that factory gloss, I definitely recommend this. It's called Tamiya Colors. It's called a TS80, and it's a super dull coat. They also make a Mr. Hobbies matte finish, and it's really good stuff as well. And spray your figures. It gives it a really nice coat. Really dulls up, especially the clothing. I hate when like the clothing has like a glossy look to it. Just really bugs the hell out of me. But yeah, and then I use a semi-gloss on all the hockey masks just to give it a nice shine, because NECA does kind of a crappy job at their masks sometimes. Okay, anyway, ranting over, I mean. So my last pick, of course, I think everybody's personal favorite is going to be the Part 7 Jason from the New Blood. And this is the new 2021 release of this figure. I have the original Cult Classics figure, amazing figure in his own, but this one right here is just an absolute piece of art. Can't get over it, man. Cannot get over it, how amazing this figure is. It's been my favorite film in the series forever, just because Kane Hodder brings such a presence to the Jason character, and just the whole design of him is just amazing. Everything about him, you know, from his spine showing through the shirt, just the whole tatteredness. And I always liked all the behind the scenes stuff that they're talking about, where you know, oh yeah, you know, we just got tired of seeing Jason just going through every movie just with, oh, his clothes are just all the same. Now we had this Jason where you just saw all the damage that was done to him. Because if he would have showed up after Part 6 with a brand new hockey mask again, and, you know, all that damage being gone, it would have been stupid as heck. So seeing him come back with that ripped up hockey mask for the first time and everything just made it so much better. And for this one in particular, I actually went and I took some black paint and I painted around the eye holes, so it really darkens up the holes on the mask. And I also did a semi-gloss coat on the mask as well. Give it a nice little shine. So guys, that's going to do it for my list. Love every single Jason interpretation, but there's just some that are better than others. And this is my personal list. My top 3 Jasons right here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do you agree with my list, my rankings of my favorite looks of Jasons through the video or throughout the years? Let me know what you guys think. Leave your lists in the comments below, and I really appreciate the watches on my video, and you guys all take it easy. Thanks for watching.